Good morning, everyone. We are doing some stone veneer and granite caps today. If you're a viewer of the channel, you've seen us use this material before. They're thin stone interlocking veneer panels made by Northeast Masonry. The blend is called New England blend. Has those tan colors mixed with the gray. So we got our full pieces, our half pieces, and our corners. And we have our inner block work all done. Blocks are set, the top pad is poured, and all of this is sitting on a 4-inch concrete footing that is rebarred into the foundation. And if you want to know how we did that, check out the video previously in this playlist by clicking the link in the description below. I got through that on the first try, Benny.
Great.
You think so, man? You proud of me?
Yeah, first try.
First try, dude.
Why not, guy?
Dude, come on, say that, dude. Give the guy a shout out. Say it.
Trying to get your 2-piece real quick, my guy. Bro?
I love how you said that so seriously, too. That guy's awesome, bro.
That's hilarious.
Because he goes straight into the cities, dude. He's not, like, staging that thing at all, bro.
No way. He's
Straight up, like, going up to someone random. You trying to catch a 2-piece, my guy? That is hilarious. Like, what do you think when someone comes up to you like that, dead serious, looking at you? Yo, homie, you trying to catch a 2-piece, my guy? Guy's got a box of chicken in his coat. Like, that's the kicker, bro. When people finally find out it's a joke and he, like, 2-piece of chicken, my guy. Let me know in the comments if you know the guy that I'm talking about. There are all our 3 different size pieces. And you need all of these to work together for this system to work properly. You got the corner pieces that have the same kind of design as the full and half pieces. A half piece is going to lock into it like that, and then you stack a full piece on top of that. The way that these interlock when you start the first course, especially if you're doing a big area, is they lock in opposite, and that gives you your flat base course to stay nice and level. And then from there, you're just putting full pieces in. Like that. That's pretty much how that works. And you can stack, you can put full pieces on top of each other now. And the way it breaks up the joint line is it breaks this in half. And when you do it correctly, it can be pretty tough to see. And even if you can end up noticing it, it all mixes in really good. And then if you did your measurements perfect and you didn't have to make cuts at the top, you can top it off with another half piece. So it's a really good system. It works good. They do a good job putting it together. It's not like that cultured stone, Benny. The cultured stone panels, those are no good. Those are no good.
see them at like gas stations, stuff like that.
Yep. They just fall apart.
Yeah, there's a piece missing.
These are like legitimate stone veneer pieces, dude.
Right.
You know? And then the backs of these, they pretty much get all mortared together with thin, probably microfiber reinforced mortar. And they also have wire mesh. So all these pieces lock in really good together. Then we got our top landing pieces. That stuff's called pattern stock, blue mist granite. And then we have our treads, 6 feet long by 12 inches deep, 2 inches high. And these steps are not going to be a complete 6 feet. So we're going to end up having to saw cut them and then rock face the side that we saw cut so we can get them exactly how we need them to be. So with this one right here, what we're going to want to do is trim a little bit off of the full piece right here and of the corner so that the interlocking tabs meet up with each other, and then we're going to put a small piece in each one of the holes that leaves. So what I'm going to do is just kind of split this in half. It doesn't have to be a perfect measurement. The cut that we make here is going to be based off of this cut, so we're going to make this one first. So other than making those two little cuts, that first step is dry fit. And a very important part of dry fitting is that you leave that gap you're going to need for the mortar. So we got about 3/8 of an inch gap for the mortar. This one does too, it's just leaning a little bit. But on both sides of the corners for sure, you need to make sure that you have that gap open, because if you fit it so it's tight, when you go to put the mortar on, all those joints are going to space out, causing big issues. But that took me about 5 minutes really to get that set, minus making those cuts, which you need some more time for that, but those are pretty much all set. Some panels are not the full 8 inches, some of the blocks are set a little bit higher. But on this first row, we're going to be lifting them up to meet the top of that block. And the way we're going to do that, you'll see, is we're going to be putting pieces of 3/4 stone under the veneer. And what that is acting as is almost like a little wedge or shim to get it into the right place while the concrete sets. And then when we have it lifted up and it's set, we'll put a little thin bead of mortar underneath all the panels, which will help support it. So now that we got that first step, we're going to wrap around this right side and we're going to go towards the house. So again, even on the front of this step, you need to leave that gap for your mortar, keep everything tight, and then lay it out. We did a half piece, then a full piece. Now we're going to do another half piece. The interlocking tab is going to go to right here, so we're going to measure from here to the foundation. And we got about 14.5 for it to be tight. We want a little bit of a gap, so we're going to go just shy of 14.5. So this is the interlocking piece we're going to measure. I'm going to go just shy of 14.5. And there you go. This is where sometimes they fall forward, so you just gotta wedge a stone underneath it for it to sit. But that fits perfect. So the main reason I use these stone veneer panels so much in my business is because of the labor savings. Not particularly because I don't want to spend the time and do real stone veneer, but simply because customers can't always afford that. Custom stone veneer work is very costly because it takes a lot of time. And what this product does is saves you all that time. It makes the application of the stone veneer as quick and efficient as possible. And in some applications, that time can literally cost thousands of dollars in price difference. So they're making a very good product for the customers and for the contractors. That's why I use them so much. And the really cool thing is that the cost is very relative to actual stone veneer. This is about $20 a square foot, and most other stone veneers are in that price range. Sometimes you get them in the mid to upper teens per square foot, but they're all about the $20 square foot range. So it's not like you're even paying more for the material. Ready to make some mortar, bud?
Ready.
Here's what we're using. Ardex X77. This is for vertical applications like stone veneer. And then when we go to put the granite treads down, we're using the Ardex X32. That's for horizontal applications like step treads.
Like things you stand on.
We mix this stuff in buckets with a corded drill with just like a mixing paddle on it. Time for mortar. Benny made a good batch. Stuff is sticky. Sticky icky. So we want to leave these two pieces in because that's what we're going to be fitting it to. I did get a couple comments on the last staircase I did. They said, why are you just putting the mortar in like blobs or globs, I guess you can say. Some people would maybe put the mortar on a little different than on the back of these, but the point is to just make these rows of mortar higher or thicker than they need to be, and then when you press the stone on, it's going to push all that mortar out and it's going to have an even application on the back of it. You can see that the mortar's all even. There's no spaces. And if you saw the other videos, when I go to finish this off, I'm gonna seal the top and push mortar into that. So there's no issue with putting mortar on the back of veneer like that. The main thing is to get it so that it applies to the entire back of it. So if you put on enough that when you go to press it on, it spreads out and there's no gaps, there's no issues. It's even popping out on this side. There's too much. And that's when you take a hammer and you just kind of set it in. But you can see it's all popping out. But another big thing is that we got to get this up to the same height as the cinder block. And it's not quite there. It's a little low. So we're going to lift it up to where it needs to be. We're going to just kind of put this 3/4 under there, and that just holds it. Nice pieces of granite. That looks good. Probably going to need a piece on this side. Alright, there's our corner piece set. I'm going to go this way, and then we'll go down the side. Let's try to see if I can show you how it squishes again. So, like I said, sometimes the panels just don't fit perfect. You kind of got to wedge them up so that it ends up perfect with the top of the pad here. So that's why we lift them up and put those rocks under. I gotta make these cuts right here. This piece is gonna be a full piece that's just gonna interlock into this hole. So we just gotta measure from there to there. And we're coming up with 14 3/4. That's really tight. So we're probably gonna do like 14 1/2 to give us some room, 1/4 inch of expansion room. We gotta trim it. So I'm basically gonna rest this on piece that it's gonna be going on and mark the bottom of the wood. And then the same thing, I'm gonna put this where it needs to go. Mark that on the wood. Still a bit too tight. Okay, it fits. It fits. I'm gonna get all that dust off. Shake the dust off. There's a badge, Benny. Don't ask, don't tell. Whatever happened to that?
Behind us.
Country was stronger then. Strength in abundance.
Strength and unity.
Unity, dude. That's the word, bro, that the politicians love. Alright. You can see that mortar coming up. That's a tight seal behind there. Tight seal, Benny. You ever seen a tight seal? So at the end of the day, I really do love these stone veneer panels. The product that they're offering us is just really incredible. What you can get done in a day with these interlocking veneer panels. Even in a big open area, that's kind of more what they were designed for. You can cover a huge square footage of space very quickly. And it just comes out good if you just do it the right way. A lot of people don't keep these joints as tight as you see in here, so you can kind of see the spaces in between the panels, which you really want to stay away from that. You want to keep everything nice and tight with each other so you can't tell the panels apart from one another. And the key was, like at the beginning I showed you, you use the half panels at the bottom so that you can kind of start staggering your full panels. And then your corner panels are just pretty much self-explanatory. They are more designed for open areas. There's some customizing you have to do when you go build some steps like this. But at the end of the day, it's still much quicker than using regular veneer. And I'll say it again, it just saves the customer money. So a lot of people end up going this route when they see the end result and then they see the price difference. They're completely fine with the way that the panels end up looking. And these are just the best stone veneer panel option around my area. I don't like any other stone veneer panel option that I have found. The manufacturer of these, Northeast Masonry, they just do a really good job. There's some panels that you get in batches that are worse than others, but obviously they have multiple people putting these together, so I'm sure there's better masons than others at the manufacturer, but at the end of the day, it all mixes in well. Make sure you guys let me know in the comments below what you think of it compared to regular stone veneer. Can you see the lines where the panels meet? So on and so forth. I appreciate you guys watching. Keep a lookout for the granite cap video that's coming up next. I appreciate your support. And as always, God bless. Peace.